Good grief, you say, it's an update! Why, yes it is, you frosty villains. I am Evil Tim, and this is Let's Play Castlevania, Lament, Innocence. You might have seen that we are now Flashman Belmont, yes, Flashman Dongs Leon, Lurk Dog, Neddy Knees Nabula Moriarty Belmont proceeds onwards. You might think we're about to make our way into the game, and the game is trying to tempt us again, using that map, which is villainous of it. But the skull there will put us off for a moment. We're not going to deal with you yet, Icon of Sin. Instead, we'll pick this thing up again, because I started the game again, because my previous file was not particularly exciting, what. So instead we're going down here to go and meet the hidden boss. He's a hidden boss because he's hidden at the bottom of this shaft, which is kind of obvious, actually. Not a very well hidden boss. He is hidden in the compulsory basement torture chamber, which is reached by discovering that your shadow has absolutely nothing to do with any light source that might happen to exist in the world. Yes, this game does not have real-time lighting. CV64 did, but this does not. That's silly. Okay, we're getting a dirty phone call from the hidden boss. That is Forgotten One, or possibly Ignored One. I'm really not sure what he's all about. Perhaps he was put down there because he forgot his safe word, or maybe he just made fun of Walter Bernhardt's silly, not particularly vampirish name. Get down there into my prison of eternal torture, you. Walter, shut up. Right, so make our way in here after encountering a few difficulties with the door interface, because you have to wait for the arrows to change colour or you'll just pointlessly whip around the door, which is silly. So, got a huge bloodstain, don't know how that got up here. We've got a high potion, I really don't know how that got up here. And we've got a horn, there is a horny devil down there, growling like a growlity man, and we will fight him later, presumably. Got a pointless save room over there, and we've got this, which is a door, which is sealed by an especially enormous power as opposed to a regularly enormous power. It's a very important distinction to make, and we are glad that Leon made it. Oh, yes, we are. So, up we go, up the stairs, which we will ignore because they take 30 seconds to go up, and that's ridiculously boring. So, moreover, onward, let us get into the actual, real first level of the game, and I'm going to need to pause the video to clear my throat, so wait a second for that. Right, throat clear, we will continue onward on our quest to pick up this map here. There we go, map 1, map of the House of Sacred Remains. Why does Walter Bernhardt, a vampire, have sacred remains, you ask? Well, I don't fucking know. Perhaps it's his crypt or something. Why didn't you call it a crypt? Well, we would have called it a crypt, but it wouldn't be as descriptive. Good lord, skeleton puns, they're the worst kind. Let's beat up these skeletons for that. You, your villain... Ow. That didn't go well at all. Right, so we're actually in a level now. Holy mother of God, it only took us 2 videos and months. So, we will now defeat skeleton... Okay, maybe we won't. Right, so our tactics have failed us already, and you will see that in this level there are millions upon millions upon millions of these fucking torches all over the place. I guess there was a discount on or something. So there's this oddly blocked off entrance here which doesn't really feature into anything. I don't know why it's there. It's there for mystery, perhaps, to entice us into the world. You heard something slam shut there, and here come some skeletons. I guess they're not really up on this whole Belmont thing, since they seem to be staring at walls a lot. Oh, look at the decor here, it's lovely. Oh, I wonder who this... That wasn't very nice, I bet he's the tax man. Stop whipping my door, you're a villain. Right, so yes, once again we have difficulty with the operating mechanics of a simple door type thing. And we are now in this sort of chapel-y bit. You will notice that the doors lock with strange hinged whatsits, as they did in the previous video. They do that an awful lot, usually only the first time you go into an area though. And you will see that this area has all sorts of scenery around it. There's benches and things, and we will examine those in a minute, but first let us explode everyone using a Rosario. Good lord, what villainy is that? Now you see these things are actually shorter than Leon, and so surely a man who can double jump can get over them. Or not. No, this is actually an infinitely tall wall. It doesn't do anything, you can't interact with them, you can't whip them. This thing here you can at least jump over. My god, the power we have. And this organ doesn't do anything. All of this is just useless window dressing. It's the background from a 2D stage. This game is basically laid out like a 2D game. It just happens to have this superfluous third dimension. So, instead we'll go over here and find something we actually can interact with. Holy god, it's a giant organ stop with a big eye on it. My god, what's that all about? But Dirkus, you're a huge pianist. At least his name's not Walter. Oh, shut up. Right, so after pressing that, we activate a light in a door. My god, let us now journey through a room in order to find that door, which lurketh over somewhere we will find in probably about 3 videos' time. This game isn't really good with the whole goal thing. You you will note that as we proceed further into it. So, in this game, in this save file rather, we are not going to be fighting everything, we are going to be skipping over as much as possible so that you do not get tedious, but I will be playing another save game where I fight everything so that I can show you all the things we can buy. That will be marvellous, won't it? So, let's show off the knife. I said let's show off the knife. Can we actually have a knife, please? No, there is no knife involved in this knife. It's a knifeless knife, the best kind of knife, the most important kind that has just been developed by scientists or possibly alchemists. Meanwhile, we get vomit on our shoes, which apparently ruins them to the point that Leon actually takes physical damage from it, the effeminate prick. Right, so, now that we have suffered fashion damage, let us proceed on to this long hallway full of useless torches. Brilliant! Each one is worth $1, which means you are still supposed to whip all of them. Marvellous. If you actually require any hearts, they're not worth $1, they're worth 2 hearts. This is the excuse for whipping candles, rather than just like give you 5 or 10 hearts, they give you 2. Marvellous. You will also notice that this castle has a moon located at all 4 compass points, and indeed sometimes underground, as it is in the background of every save room. This is a strange and bizarre occurrence that we will not question further. Alright, we do have particle effects, but we don't have dynamic lighting, which is certainly an interesting choice of priorities, but let us also not question that, and we will continue onwards into a room to go through it like Simon Belmont would presumably do. Here we go! Through the door, and we will go into the one side of this two-sided place. Here we go, we got floaty armory idiots, they look ridiculous. And we learned a new technique by beating him up, because he was so ashamed he had to teach us something. Right, so that is what the new technique does. It's kind of useless. So we will instead keep using the techniques we already had. Marvellous. This level kind of sucks, because you don't get any decent powers. You have these apathetic skeletons that lurk in the corners of rooms pretending they aren't there. And you have no orbs, you have one relic, and it sucks. It's a great way to start a game, all told, so let's jump on that skeleton's head as revenge. You'll also see that because Walter Bernhardt decided he would buy all of these superfluous torches, he didn't have any time or money left over to wall off his money in silly breakable walls, therefore it's just sort of sitting around in easy-to-get places, thus causing thievery to exist. What a bad man. So, lots of $250 is lurking for us in the corners of these rooms, and shortly we will walk into this room again. You will see it, it's glorious. It's wondrous, and you wouldn't believe it if you hadn't seen it. Oh no. So up here we go to get ourselves another high potion, which is drugged. Good lord. I don't see why Leon's taking all these high potions. That seems criminal of him, but never mind. Let us proceed onwards to fight some more of these guys in the same room again, as we said. It's very slightly altered. They've altered the layouts of the platforms around the outside, and they've turned it upside down, thinking we wouldn't notice. So we'll defeat those guys. The skeleton's off. He thinks we won't see him if he wanders over there. It's not really the greatest idea in the world, because there he goes. We found him. Oh, that's not on. Oh. Alright, so we've got the Everything Explodes Rosario again, and for some reason... Oh, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped either. Right, yes, so we had the Apathy Skeleton there attempting a half pincer movement. This is the crystal. It's landmines. It really is completely useless. So we are going to ignore that, and we are going to stick with our equally useless but not as painfully so knife. Marvellous. What a great way to start off things, eh? So we will leave it there to bob around with its anti-gravity way, and we will go up here to get this thing, and we will fail at it repeatedly, as with many of the whip jumps in this game. However, not as many times as we are going to fail at the next one, which I'm going to cut out because it's boring. Still, it's not a bad-looking game, to be fair. It just copy-pastes itself violently in all possible ways, which is scary. So we've got a collapsity thing here. Right, remember, this is a game with fixed camera angles. Please tell me, where am I supposed to jump now? What angle? Well, you guess, really, and eventually you'll work it out. Emphasis on eventually. Right, so what you actually have to do is this, as it turns out. Which is, of course, really, really odd. There's no excuse for that in a game with fixed cameras. For Christ's sake, did no one playtest this? These bats are equally disgusted at this, and they're therefore going to kill themselves. I guess any way out of this game is good, but we cannot go along with that. So we are in this for the long haul. Meanwhile, a communist skeleton is here. He's painted himself red, which gives him powers of reassembly. Or power to the people. Right, and he's ready for combat again, so let's ignore him. His only weakness So through here we go into an interstitial room which contains only this, which is an MP max-up, which gives us more members of Parliament. I don't know why we would want that, but apparently we do. Perhaps Leon is attempting to establish his own government or something. So, there's two of these red skeletons now attempting to mace us with their maces, and we've got this guy over here. I believe this guy's a skeleton hunter. He's a special kind of skeleton bowman who can fire 3 arrows at once using impossible silly movie magic physics. So let us rip him to death and then walk through him. Here we go. Bye, stupid. You can't do that. Yes, because I just did. And it's this room again, with a skeleton line dancing troupe, and this guy over here, who is a heavy armour, because he is. He's armed with a big silly spiked ball and chain that knocks you miles away, even if you don't get hit by it properly. And most of his attacks are silly glowy purple attacks, like that one, which really do knock you miles away, and knock everything else miles away too. He's a very antisocial enemy. So, we've learned Perfect Guard from that somehow. I'm not sure how, but never mind. Okay, so all of you have already learned something educational and wondrous today from this LP, which is that being hit in the head with a giant spiked mace ball thing actually allows you to gain new powers. That's how he learned everything he knows, and look at... It might not be the successful teaching method I previously believed it to be, so instead we're going to go over here and get this chalice-y thing here, which will give us HP max up. Lots of Houses of Parliament to put our MPs in. Hooray! It all gels together into a cohesive whole. So we've got some more serum to go with the other serum, which we probably won't be using at any point in this stage. And over here is an uncurse, which we definitely won't be using at any point in this stage, because curse is useless. So we're going to get up here eventually, I'm sure. Yep, there we go. Leon flies into the sky in an impossible manner. Go him! And this puzzle here will be obvious to anyone who has played Symphony of the Night, but if not, you are not going to know that walking into one side of the bookcase for a protracted period of time will open it, because it's ridiculous. How are you meant to guess this? Right, so through we go, and the bookcase wedges itself open so that we can now press the organ stop. Hurrah! And down this goes, and this is really exciting, this one, because it's got a picture of a sword on it, and the picture of a sword opens a door with a triangle on it. It's like Sesame Street, only lame. So, now that we have done that, we are thoroughly ashamed of ourselves, and you will see that we have one side of the map uncovered. Hooray! Guess what? There's another identical side to the map right over there. Yeah, I'm not fucking with you at all. That is what is over there, and we've got a whole lot more map to cover yet as well. Marvellous. So let's go and beat up that heavy armour there so that we can show off the perfect Gardle mechanic thing, and we will see all these skeletons get knocked over as well. We gain some power for that, and we will beat him up, and we will switch on. No, we won't. We'll get knocked over here first, and then we will leap like a man does. There we go. This is the completely useless power we have, because look at this. I mean, he actually has to move in order for it to hit him. It's absolutely pathetic. Meanwhile, the skeletons are off. I'm over here. I don't ask for much from my skeletons, but, you know, recognising my position will probably be a good start at least. But no, apparently not. Well, at least that guy was rich, so we can... or maybe he was Edward, I don't know. There we go, a perfect guard. It knocks him over and it gives us more MPs into the bargain. Soon we will have an entire government. Go us. So, now we must backtrack our way down all those corridors of boring, and guess what? Here's the big kick in the balls for you. They don't spawn any enemies in the corridor. Oh, marvellous. Yes, and they don't do this in either corridor or the interstitial room. So guess what? Cut. We are going to cut away from this as we pass through this door. There we go, and we are now through all of the hallways, and we are back into the rooms again, which we'll also skip over, but at least shit will happen in them. Hooray! Bye-bye, stupids. You come back. We paid to be supporting actors in this game. Well, you shouldn't have been in boring, repetitive rooms then. There aren't any other kinds in this castle, you bastard. Come back. I'll get him. Well, that was almost him. He's not a cupboard, Rupert. Who says? Alright, so we're proceeding back to the save point, which we'll pass into, and then, if you are watching this on Dailymotion or on Google, you will skip over to the next video. If you're watching this on Vidler, however, you will not do that, because that would be naughty of you. Go now.